So, when you think of McDonald's, what's the first thing that pops into your head? The Golden Arches? A Big Mac? For most of us, it's this giant symbol of American culture just spreading everywhere. But what if I told you the real story of McDonald's is actually way more local than you think?
Yeah, that's the big question we're diving into. Is McDonald's the ultimate global brand, basically the same in every corner of the world? Or, and this is the interesting part, is it actually one of the most local restaurants you can find? The answer? Well, it's going to change how you see those arches. You know, photojournalist Gary Hay, who's been all over the world documenting McDonald's, put it perfectly. He said everyone thinks of it as this kind of cultural steamroller, but that's just not the whole picture. Not even close. And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, there are over 42,000 McDonald's in more than 100 countries. It's a massive global empire, for sure. But it's an empire that plays by some very, very different rules.
So, what's their secret? What's the secret sauce to their global takeover? It's not about making everyone eat the exact same burger. No, it's the total opposite. Their whole strategy is built on adapting to local tastes, local traditions, and even a bit of local pride.
All right, let's take a quick trip around the world, a little tasting tour, to see what this really looks like. And trust me, you're going to be surprised by some of these menu items. First up, India. Now, when McDonald's opened there in '96, they did something pretty wild for an American burger joint. They took beef completely off the menu. I mean, think about that. Instead, you get bestsellers like the McAloo Tikki, which is this awesome spiced potato patty, or wraps with Paneer cheese, which is a huge deal for the millions of vegetarians there. Hopping over to the Philippines, McDonald's ran into a local champion called Jollibee. And to compete, they didn't just double down on burgers. They actually created their own version of a local favorite, McSpaghetti. Yup, noodles with a sweet sauce and chopped up hot dogs. It was a direct play to win over Filipino taste buds.
So, in France, people were not exactly thrilled about McDonald's at first. So how did they win them over? By embracing something quintessentially French. They created the McBaguette. They put their patties on a bread that is literally a UNESCO-protected cultural icon. Now, the French affectionately call it McDo. How about that?
Head north to Canada and you can get a side of poutine. This classic from Quebec, fries, cheese curds, gravy. It's not just a regional thing. Nope, you can get it on the menu all across the country, right there next to the McFlurry.
And in the Middle East, you'll see the McArabia. It looks a lot like a shawarma, right? It's got grilled chicken, garlic sauce, all wrapped in a flatbread. It's designed to be exactly what people there want, just, done the McDonald's way. This whole strategy completely transforms even their biggest icon. We all know the Big Mac, right? 2 all-beef patties. Well, in India, it becomes the Maharaja Mac. The architecture is the same, but the soul is totally different. It's made with chicken patties, built from the ground up for the Indian market. And the list just goes on and on. In Switzerland, there's a McRaclette burger with raclette cheese. South Korea has an egg bulgogi burger. You can get a halloumi McMuffin in Jordan. Spain had a burger with amazing jamon iberico. And in Thailand, you can start your day with congee, a savory rice porridge. It's wild.
But this whole localization thing, it goes so much deeper than just food. It actually shapes the buildings themselves and creates these one-of-a-kind experiences you just won't find anywhere else.
I mean, check this place out in Melbourne, Australia. That is not your typical McDonald's. It's inside this gorgeous 1930s Art Deco building that used to be a hotel. It's considered a historic landmark. It's a world away from what we usually picture.
Or what about this one in New Zealand? People call it the world's coolest McDonald's. And for good reason. You can actually eat your food inside a real decommissioned airplane that's built into the restaurant. How cool is that?
The changes can even hit the brand's most sacred symbol. Canada is the only country in the entire world with its own logo. They put a maple leaf right in the middle of the Golden Arches. A little nod to national pride.
And for a truly unique experience, you've got to go to Sweden. This is the McSki. It is the world's only ski-through McDonald's. Forget the drive-through. Here, you literally ski right up to the window to grab your food. But okay, this is where the story gets really, really interesting. This isn't just some big American company telling the world what to eat. The influence actually flows both ways. In fact, some of McDonald's biggest, most famous global products were actually born from a single local idea. Take the Happy Meal. You'd think that was invented by some genius in a Chicago boardroom, right?
Nope. It started in Guatemala in 1974. A local franchisee's wife came up with the idea of a smaller meal with a toy just for kids. The idea was so good that corporate took it, and, well, the rest is history.
And this isn't new. The Filet-O-Fish was the very first local menu item. It was created by a franchisee in Cincinnati for his Catholic customers who didn't eat meat on Fridays. It solved a local problem and ended up becoming a global hit.
And we can see this happening right now, in real time. Macarons, which were first introduced at McAfés in France, are now showing up on menus from Japan to Poland. We might be watching the birth of the next big global menu item.
Which brings us right back to what Gary Hayworth was saying. Whether they meant to or not, McDonald's has become this incredible two-way street for cultural exchange, where local ideas can go global and global ideas get a local flavor.
And when you remember that this brand serves 65 million people every single day, you start to realize just how massive that cultural exchange really is. So it all leaves us with this one final big question. If the company that we think of as the ultimate symbol of globalization is actually just a huge collection of thousands of local stories and local tastes, then what does globalization even mean anymore? It's something to think about.